The B-25 is and will forever be linked in history with the Doolittle Raiders. It was one of the most daring raids, not just in American history in World War II, but maybe even of all time in military history. It took a lot of guts, and it was masterminded by Jimmy Doolittle, who was the master of the calculated risk. He was summoned to Washington in January of 1942, immediately following the raid on Pearl Harbor. He developed a plan to attack Japan using Army Air Corps airplanes launched from a Navy aircraft carrier. The B-25 was chosen because of its versatility and its ability to carry a bomb load, become airborne in a short distance, and they obviously assembled a group of men from the 17th Bomb Group and began training immediately after Doolittle began formulating his plan. A lot of the training was done in South Carolina, and then again some in Florida, and they flew the B-25 on the edge of the envelope. They made full flat takeoffs, but Doolittle knew that the ship would be moving about 30 knots, and with the raid they were in a storm, so they had another 30 knots of wind blowing over the deck, so the airplane really only had to build 20 knots of speed on its own, and he knew that the airplane could do it. In talking to some of the guys who were on the raid, they really weren't too concerned about getting off the deck. They had a pretty good feeling that that was not going to be an issue from all their intense training that they had.
You've heard of this thing called WAAS, right? The Wide Area Augmentation System lets you fly GPS glide path approaches without relying on ground-based landing aids. No VOR, no ILS, no problem. Fact is, WAAS is so smart, it even knows what you're going to say next time you need it. And don't have it on board. Wah, I want my WAAS now! I was really crying there for a second.
They readied the airplanes to launch and launched on early in the morning of April 18th. And they were supposed to be within 425 miles, somewhere in that round number vicinity from the coast of Japan, and they were another 200 miles out. So it was a very, as you say, a gut check time, and Doolittle knew that the strike against Japan was far more important than ensuring that everyone's safety. That was his mission. His mission was to bomb Japan. We'll worry about the rest once we get out there. He felt a connection with the guys, and I'm sure in his future commands as well, with all of his men that served under him. But the connection that he shared with these men is still living today. The guys are out making their appearances for General Doolittle. They're there to keep his memory in this raid alive. And that's pretty neat to see some 93, 94-year-old men out at an air show signing autographs. They're not getting paid or anything else. This is what they were commissioned to do, and that's how they feel about it, because that's what the old man wanted, and they all felt that way about it. We've been to several of their events since debuting the airplane. We've been to 2 of their reunions, and the first one, it was, you know, we heard about it. It's nice to see it. The second one, it's, by God, it's our airplane, and that's very rewarding to know that the surviving Raiders appreciate what we did as a tribute to their mission. It's been very well received by their families. No one had ever done this before. There had never been a flying B-25 painted in their colors. I met Jimmy Doolittle as a young boy at an air show, at the CAF air show in Harlingen, and you start learning a little bit about him, and you realize that this was not only a war hero, but an aviation hero. He did so many firsts in aviation in the early days, and to be able to shake his hand was just amazing. And now to have a friendship with some of the the surviving Raiders and to know their families and to have them welcome our organization as the way they have has just been one of the proudest things that I think we've done.
Cirrus Design's Vision SJ50 single-engine personal jet offers exceptional fuel efficiency, flexible seating for up to 7, advanced avionics, and all the Cirrus safety features you expect, including the Cirrus airframe parachute system. With its detailed design, the Cirrus Vision is technologically advanced, yet engineered to be simple to fly, to allow owner-pilots more lifestyle pursuits than any other personal aircraft. Learn more about the Vision SJ50 at cirrusdesign.com.
Well, for me, the most rewarding experience flying the B-25 has been the opportunity to fly Dick Cole, who's Doolittle's co-pilot on the Raider mission. We've flown another Raider, Ed Horton, as well. And flying those two guys since we've repainted the airplane and in developing a friendship with him has obviously that ranks pretty high up there on the B-25 scale. To get out of the right seat and to put Dick in it and to watch him fly it, it gives you goosebumps. It makes a hair stand up on your head and really is enjoyable. And the fact that these guys, they are all so nice. They're nice. They're what you wish every kid had as a grandfather. They're heroes and everything else, and they're famous, but they're just gentlemen. And it's been that's, like I say, flying those guys and being around some of the other Raiders and their families has really been special. When they were at the ready to shove the throttles forward, they had a good idea that the day was, you might get your feet wet at the end of the day. So a lot of things had to come together. One of the interesting stories that I've heard from Dick Cole, they received word from their navigator that things weren't looking too good, and they may end up 100 miles or more short. And so one of the interesting things that General Doolittle, or Colonel at the time Doolittle, said was, you know, if we have to ditch and we get picked up by an enemy ship, we're going to take over the ship. And so, you know, he always had a plan and always told the guys, this is what we're going to do. And it's not if, this is what we're going to do. And he kind of laughs at that now. So, but it was just a fantastic point in history.